Hi everyone, my name is Ashley and I am a Fab Lab facilitator at the Science Spectrum, but we are not at the Science Spectrum. Today we are in my kitchen and we are going to learn how to make sugar crystals. So to start off, you're going to need sugar, water, a pot, parental permission or parental assistance using the stove. You will need 3 to 4 mason jars. You will also need 3 to 4 straws. It doesn't matter if they're metal or plastic. You will also need yarn or string, scissors, food coloring if you have it, and or edible glitter if you have it. So before we begin, we have to do a little prep the night before for our experiment. And to do that, we are going to take our mason jar and our yarn, and we are going to cut our string the height of the mason jar. So you can see it. We'll cut our string probably closer to right here. You just want it above the mason jar just a little bit. And I already have the sugar crystal solution on the stove, so that's what I am stirring right now, but we will go back to our prep. So after you cut your string, you are going to need to tie it around one of your straws. The part that's hanging, after you tie your yarn or string to your straw, the part that is hanging, you are going to want to get it wet under the sink, lay it down on a plate, and then cover it completely with sugar. You're going to want to try to avoid the part that's tied, but that's okay if you can't. You just want to make sure your whole string is covered in sugar and also that it won't come off of your straw. So once you do that, once you cover the wet string or yarn in sugar, you're going to want to find a safe place to put that plate and let it sit overnight. So for the next part of our experiment, you are going to need 1 cup of water, and then you will add in 4 cups of sugar. So right now I have my 1 cup of water boiling and I added in 2 cups of sugar. So I need to add in 2 more cups of sugar. And make sure you have your parents or grandparents or brothers and sisters help you with this part because it can get a little tricky. So I added in 4 cups of sugar and I'm going to bring the water to a boil. So now you guys get to watch me boil water, but I have a feeling you might have time. So on the stove right now, I have the stove top set to 9 or 8. That's how how it is on my stove. I have it set to about between 9 and 8 to get this water and sugar to boil. And you want all of the sugar to be dissolved, but you don't want your solution to become thick. You don't want it to become syrup-like or almost candy-like. Not just yet, anyway. So we'll bring our water and sugar solution to a boil. And while this is starting to boil, I'm going to get prepped for the next step. This is what my yarn looks like after sitting overnight. So I got this to boil. And I walked away. I wasn't paying attention to it. That was not a good idea because it could have started to become, well, first off, it's not safe. Second off, it could have started to become syrupy-like, and that's not what we want in the end product. So to show y'all, my yarn that I let sit overnight, after I got it wet and poured sugar on it, looks like this. And so this was my very first attempt. There's multiple strings of yarn. There's multiple strings of yarn on mine. Yours should only have one, but this is my first try, and I did it wrong, but I just wanted to keep going and see how it turned out. So this is how your string or yarn should look after it sits for a day in that sugar solution. After you get it wet and pour the sugar on it. So I let this come to a boil. I turned off my stove since it started boiling. I'm letting it cool down a bit right now. And now I need my mason jar. I had some sugar in it. Okay. So I'm going to keep letting it cool down just a bit. Probably remove it from heat to let it cool down. So I'm going to put it on that back burner. The front burner is still hot, so I have to be careful not to burn myself. So now I'm going to add some solution to my jar. There's not a set in stone amount of how much you need to add. And if you have a funnel, that would definitely make things easier and not as messy. So I'm going to do it about 3/4 of the way. I'm just doing one mason jar because I have a second experiment that I will be doing later. And so right now, since you can see the mason jar that has our sugar and water solution that we boiled, next what we're going to do is take that yarn and string that sat overnight and put it into our solution. And so you can use that same spoon that you stirred with to kind of help push it down. To submerge the yarn or string into the solution. Okay, and that's what we do for our sugar crystal experiment. It was fun experimenting with you guys. Check back in a week to see how my sugar crystals turned out. And if you are doing this experiment at home, if you're following along, show us your results. We would love to see them. This was my first trial, so I'm sure it's going to come out a little different than y'all. So I would love to see how your experiment goes. If you want to post and tag us, Science Spectrum at Home or Science Spectrum, we would love to see what you guys are doing during this time and keep up with you guys. But thank you guys for doing a science experiment with me. Bye.